Hey everybody, how you doing? I'm Paps, a racing VTuber and an artist. Now, today we're going to be continuing where we left off yesterday, where we got started on the line work for page 2, but we haven't been able to make much progress past panel 1 on account of the background, which hopefully we'll be able to finish today. We're pretty well through. I made myself a little to-do list up here after stream just so I made sure I wouldn't forget anything. Okay, so the one of them is an edit to Hawk's model, which I agree with. That jetpack does need to be bigger. That wing is it's a little bit wimpy. Or I could make Hawk smaller, actually. Hang on. Hold up, I just got a great idea. We can do a little bit of both. We can make Hawk smaller and we can make the jetpack bigger. Today I am a genius. Alright, what else we got on the docket? We got building the left-hand excavation site. There's a little line there that I'm not sure where that came from. Let's just snip that in the bud. Okay, sphere interior, parentheses, sphere interior. Yeah, that sounds like something I would write. And that's correct. I also need to finish the interior of the sphere. And finally making the fence, which isn't too hard. That should just be like a couple lines here and there. It can be a kind of futuristic fence, I think. Shouldn't be too hard to put together, all told. Like we had around size 14. No, that's way too big. Maybe size 7, half of that. Yeah, that should be good for like detail work like this. Let's get rid of Hawk for the time being. And turn on the ruler real quick. I really don't know. Again, I keep getting nervous about like whether or not I'll be offending somebody who actually has done like archaeological digs with my kind of meat-headed camp setup here. Because for some reason having like the camp set up so close to like one of the archaeological sites feels a little heretical. Just a tiny bit. Well, I made up the civilization that these ruins are based on, so I'm sure they won't mind. They'll be amenable to a few changes here and there, I believe. You know what would actually be interesting as something to do? To make a doorway here. That people can enter into. Like that. You know, just some very simple basic patterns. I actually want to keep these two lines here. I feel like they fit the overall aesthetic pretty well. There we go. Then the next part is going to be that there will be... there... I have some difficulty, right? Figuring out, okay, maybe like this and like this. No, that looks flat. How do I... Oh, wait, hang on. I think I know how to do this. Okay, we gotta put this here, this here, this here. Listen, I'm sure this... So what I want to do, what I want to accomplish here is I want to create a ramp from down on this level to around here to where it would be surfaced. So that's gonna look like this. That's gonna be... It's gonna be a very basic wooden ramp. You know, just something that so you don't have to lug stuff up a mud track. You can use something like a wheelbarrow. Okay, there we go. This one here, this one here. This one here. And again, just dropping this one over here. All right, there we go. We've made a halfway competent wooden plank. First the plank, then the world domination. That has to be a saying. I'm sure that somebody said that before. Sometimes I say strange things that I'm sure are like genuine firsts, but other times I'm like, no, this is the kind of the exact kind of strange thing that somebody would have said before, either in jest or seriously. Okay, there we go. Okay, there we go. I'll put that back here. Uh, I want to get better at perspective work. I need to do more stuff like this until I get fully comfortable with it. I talked about that yesterday a little bit, is that I think I'm still not fully comfortable in the skin doing backgrounds. Right now I'm on a very technical level, right? I'm I'm doing everything right, but it doesn't come natural quite yet. Not like doing character stuff does, right? Like I couldn't do this freehand, for example. I doubt anybody can draw. No, there's definitely some freak of nature out there who's strong enough to do backgrounds freehand. Of that, I have no doubt. The world is too wide for there not to be someone like that. This world is full of all kinds of amazing people. There has to be somebody who has the talent that I would admire. At least that's what I think, right? There's that phrase, right? There's always a bigger fish. Everyone in before digital drawing or freaks of nature for drawing backgrounds. Oh my god, you're right. Hi, Cypress. Yeah, no, that's true. Actually, how do you like? I wonder how they would have done that. Well, no, they. I've seen videos of it, right? Like you see videos of them using like rulers and perspective lines and all that nonsense just to draw like a rock or something, and it's mind-boggling in how technical it is. But it makes sense, I imagine, to someone. Yeah, maybe that's where the key to this strength lies in embracing the traditional methods. Figuring out what the 2-point perspective actually is, rather than just like lazily typing it into CSV and giving up 3 minutes after reading the entry first time. I did do that. I think it's obvious that I did do that, but that is something that I did. That I just try to read the entry on like the CSV thing, on the instructions on how to use. There is a 2-point perspective ruler in CSV, but Lord knows I haven't used it. That thing could revive the dead for all I know. Backgrounds will be the last thing I study in my journey. I mean, you've also been doing mecha stuff, which is what a lot of people also leave to the last second. So I think it's like everybody has their strengths and weaknesses. So I think taking it at your own pace is definitely the way to go. Lord knows I've been putting it off. Being an artist is a lot of like being a swordsman in many ways. You hold something that's vaguely cylindrical. I think that's the end of it. I don't think there's not actually that many parallels between artists and swordsmen. I don't think. Or maybe there are, and I just haven't been talking to the right artists. there might, I don't know, maybe every other artist in the world is like Miyamoto Musashi, and I'm just over here twiddling my thumbs. Miyamoto Musashi did actually do some art pieces, didn't he? If I recall correctly. I think he did some kind of ink drawings. Every artist can be an infantry spearman. Now that I can believe. Hang on, let me see here. Yeah, here we go. This is a painting made by Miyamoto Musashi called Shrike in a Barren Tree. Yeah. In his later years, Musashi said in the Book of Five Rings, "When I apply the principle of strategy into the ways of the different arts and crafts, I no longer have need for a teacher in any domain." That's not true, I think. He proved this by creating recognized masterpieces of calligraphy and classic ink painting. Or I guess it is true. Fuck me, I guess. Good work. His paintings are characterized by skilled use of ink washes and an economy of brushstroke. He especially mastered the broken ink school of landscapes, applying it to other subjects, such as his Shrike perched on a withered branch, part of a triptych whose two other members were Hotei walking and Sparrow on bamboo. Yeah, this dude killed 30 men, probably more, and just wanted to be left alone to paint. 30 men that we know of. God. Miyamoto Musashi's duel fighting history is one of the funniest things ever. It's a straight up Looney Tunes bit. The most faithful depiction of Miyamoto Musashi will be like a Bugs Bunny who doesn't smile. There's no eyewitness account, so there's no way to prove that in his duel with fucking that other dude, what's his nuts? The guy who did like the swallow reversal. Surely I can defeat the undefeated swordsman Musashi. Yeah. Everybody thought they were built different. Sasaki Kojiro, that's the guy. Yeah. You know, we don't have any eyewitness accounts of his duel with Sasaki Kojiro besides that with which Musashi himself dictated and spoke about. So there's no way to prove that his first words upon meeting his opponent were not, what's up, Doc? We do not have evidence to the contrary. But yeah, no, everybody thought they were built different, huh? I don't know. I think much like how owning guns can make people weird, I feel like owning a sword, especially during an era where a sword gave you, like, sword was the most powerful weapon you could conceivably carry on you at any given time. I don't know. I guess it went to your head a little bit for sure. I mean, I'm guessing it's also a combination of factors, right? Like, I'm guessing that I remember that a lot of the people that he killed were from different sword fighting schools that just wanted to kind of like prove that he wasn't all that. So I'm assuming that the guys who fought him were usually heirs to the dojo who, you know, I'm assuming they were competent swordsmen, but they weren't used to fighting dirty like he was. Or maybe they were. I don't know. It's possible that he just got lucky a lot of times, but that's a lot of times to get lucky, right? Like an inordinately, statistically anomalous number of times to get lucky. You know, past a certain point, you have to stop being like, you know, maybe this guy's just like dumb luck, and other times you just kind of have to be like, oh, okay, no, actually, this guy might actually know what he's doing. Yeah, over 60 victories. Maybe Wikipedia has an exact number. Let me see here. Half of those were confirmed kills. Jeez. Yeah, no, 61 duels. And yeah, an undefeated record. And like you said, half of those were confirmed kills. Meaning that out of 61 dudes, there is one dude running around half dead. If we're going by pure statistics. Easily recognizable by the fact that one of his eyes is white and the other one is black. 3 people will understand that reference, and I don't care. Oops, what did I just do? Okay, there we go. I do wonder what's the most careless OSHA violation has been in the history of architectural dig sites. I feel like archaeologists are just unhinged enough to want to kind of thumb their nose at ordinary safety procedures. Like the priority in archaeological dig sites is the actual things retrieved, I feel. So maybe OSHA, not such a respected practice. During the Industrial Age. Let's see. I have no idea when OSHA was established. Oh. Dude, I bet archaeologists have some unhinged stories. That's like one step away from geology. And I know that geologists are batshit insane. Eating rocks and all that. Tasting dirt for sediment. I respect the hustle. Like, don't get me wrong. I think that's a very important job. And it's an impressive factor to the commitment. But also, you are straight up eating rocks. That's not that. I can't pretend like that's not unhinged. I can't act like that's a normal thing to do. I mean, I don't know. We eat salt all the time. I don't know how. To what extent is there a difference? Wait, no, that doesn't look right. Wait, no, this looks more correct. All right, hang on. Let me turn the ruler back on real quick. There we go. Okay, grab this, grab that. There we go. Okay, let's turn on the ruler back again real quick, just so we can make some shadows here. Then... Okay, I was going all about it all wrong, trying to show like the depth of this in this side. This other side is where we can kind of establish the verticality of the ramp. Verticality of the ramp. Whenever I like to think of like ramps and such, right? The ramp is one of the 6 simple machines. So there are 6 machines, No, not simple machines, classical machines. There's 6 classical machines, which are the... Or is it 6 simple machines? No, it's 6 simple machines. So there's like this concept of the 6 simple machines, which are the lever, wheel and axle, the pulley, the inclined plane, also known as the ramp, and the wedge and the screw, which there's something very attractive to me about these. I don't know. There's like the fact that there's 6 of them precisely is a very satisfying number to me. Yeah, let's see here. Yeah, they were defined in the Renaissance, which is why they're kind of simplistic, but these are essentially different methods of transferring work, right? So, the most obvious example is the screw. If you... Okay, hang on. The Wikipedia article probably has a better description, a more eloquent description. A simple machine uses a single applied force to do work against a single load force. Ignoring friction losses, the work done on the load is equal to the work done by the applied force. The machine can increase the amount of the output force at the cost of a proportional decrease in the distance moved by the load. Hang on. Blah, blah, blah. Compound machines. Self-locking machines. But yeah, the idea is like these are very basic transfers of energy, which... Yeah, that's accurate. There's not much more to say about that. Okay, there we go. And now we can get rid of all these planning lines over here. Machine, turn back now. The articles of this place are not for your kind. God, I feel like Gabriel Ultrakill would be a very good, vengeful Wikipedia moderator. Like V1 is just editing the... I remember seeing this one tweet where it was like this dude who was drunk as hell, and he was like admitting that every single time he was drunk or for some random reason he decided to edit Nebraska's Wikipedia page so Nebraska was a little bigger each time, and somebody got him banned for that. Which I don't know. As somebody who thinks the joke is very funny, I don't think that was deserved. But as somebody who likes who appreciates the sanctity of information on Wikipedia, I can't help but be on the side of the guy who banned him. I'm sorry if that makes me a narc, but I can't justify myself. Machine, cite your sources, lest the will of God turn thee into a smoldering crater of soot. An intellectual wrongdoing. Yeah, no. I feel like if people were to do like a modern day alternate universe of Ultrakill, I think that they need to capture about Gabriel is like he's good at his job per se, until he meets V1 at least. Ayo. But he's also just kind of like the exact kind of asshole who would be such a super petty moderator. And he would for sure do that Navy SEALs copy pasta unironically. God, I need to shake the hand of the dude who made the Navy SEAL copy pasta. I feel like that guy had an absolute impact on the shape of history itself. We owe so much of our current day perception of the internet tough guy to that one copy pasta. Like, does the guy who made it know? Like, did we ever track down who that is? We must have at some point, right? Hang on. Do we know who made it? Navy SEAL copy pasta. Here we go. Oh, okay. So the Navy SEAL copy pasta doesn't have its own Wikipedia page, but it has top billing on the copy pasta Wikipedia article. All right, check this out. Blah blah blah. Okay. It doesn't seem to have an origin. We don't know who made it. Also, right below the Navy SEAL copy pasta subheader in the Wikipedia article is the subheader for the B movie. Remember when everybody was just copy and pasting the entire B movie script onto the edit everywhere? What was up with that? Why did we decide to do that collectively? You know, that's one of those things that I didn't remember until like somebody mentioned it to me, and now it just seems weirdly bizarre, even for standards of like internet stuff, right? Like, there's no particular reason anybody on the internet does anything, right? You know, that's it's very much a monkeys and typewriter situation where if you try to apply logic to the madness, it all just kind of breaks down horribly. Copy pastas will be psychoreactive mimetic weaponry in future warfare. That's the Gorgon frame from Lancer. Extruding the basilisk just create it's just like a select. You know, I feel like, you know, we're still the internet is old enough that now we can say that there was an old internet, but I feel like we still haven't reached the age of like say movies or we don't have the same maturity as certain other mediums. I feel like in the future there's going to be like some internet websites are going to be like a fine vintage wine. Like some dude will crack open a freaking Akewood or something and be like, ah yes, '03, a fine vintage, good year for a good year, good year. It's going to be exactly like that, and somebody will try to capitalize on it, and I can't wait to be one of the dudes on the ground floor of that. Wayback Machine and Internet Archive will keep portions of humanity's history alive. And God bless them for that. Okay. Just erase some of this. This is much better than what I had earlier, but the wings are still very stubby, and the jetpack is still also similarly stubby. Okay, grab this, and then just kind of reach over and slide this drawback. There we go. Perfect. Now what we need to do is make the wing bigger. God, when he was making an albatross. God, albatrosses are just such fascinating birds. Just such a big thing, and all it does is eat fish. What a noble creature. Biggest wingspan in all the animal kingdom, and it just eats fish. And all it does is be monogamous and eat fish. Well, that's kind of the dream. At least. Well, no, that's a very specific subset of the dream. I don't know. I think you could do a lot worse than sashimi and monogamy for the rest of your life. Let's see. Then just make the jetpack a little bit bigger. Can we bump some of these vectors up? I think, or chevrons. They're not vectors, they're chevrons. I keep thinking it's called a vector when it's this kind of pointed shape because it's shaped like a V. I'm like, V for vector. Yes. There we go. Yeah, this looks much more reasonable in terms of wingspan to body ratio. All right, now we just need to take care. Okay, we've made the jetpack bigger. We've finished the left building's excavation. We should probably put a few guys here and there. For that, I need to open up page 3 so I can get a peep at the inside of it. Okay, I see, I see. All right, let's put this behind us and can I try to recreate like the circumference of this? There we go. Okay, get rid of this. Get rid of this part. We can probably thin this out a little bit. This is the wrong layer. Let me just grab and snatch this real quick. Okay. Next up is gonna be right. I wanted to actually make like a small border on the sides here to show that this is just kind of as deep as the rust hole goes. Actually, what might be a cool idea is to make this just a big. No, actually, I don't know. The problem is that I don't know where to put all the dirt that's being excavated out of here. I was thinking about making this a gigantic dirt mound, but I feel like that's almost too convenient. And also, if you made a dirt mound right there, if the mess hall and the container gets downwind of it, everything's gonna get gunked up. It's gonna be like when you know how sometimes people rake leaves and a big gust will just kind of scatter them again. Very similar principle, which I imagine they would want to avoid. God, what if somebody just put graffiti on here? You find like this alien artifact that has like the power of thunder and lightning, and for some reason it just has that Kilroy West was here graffiti on it for some reason. Graffiti manifests anywhere there is empty public space. This is true. And God bless it for that. There are some really good graffiti artists near where I live. There's this one that does like these super cute looking stickers of like this anime girl character that is like an original design of theirs. I don't know who they are, but they are my hero. Like that person is living their best life. I am legitimately quite jealous of their lifestyle. Yeah. I don't know, making small stickers does sound fun. Not The problem is that once I make small stickers, I will want to stick them onto something. And that's where the problems begin. I don't know. I'm a very boring person because I don't want to. I don't think I could ever put a sticker on my computer, right? Like I have a nice desktop computer, and I don't ever want to put a sticker on it. I don't know why. I don't. I put some sometimes on like my sketchbooks, but I don't make a habit of it. If I just happen to have one lying around, I'm like, oh, this would look kind of nice. Like I think the last time I did that was because I bought a Cracker Jack box out of genuine curiosity for what it tasted like, and it came with a free sticker. It has to be the right sticker, and what if you have to remove it? You understand? Oh my god, that is the exact anxiety. Like, what if I don't like it anymore someday? So it's the same reason I can't ever get a tattoo. I have commitment issues, but only when it comes to aesthetic things. Listen, a relationship is one thing, right? But a sticker, like something that I have to look at every single day as I work all around me. Oh my god, that I cannot. You can't make me. Gun to my head, I refuse. I wonder what it's like to have normal problems. Oh god. Rather, I should be grateful that these are the kinds of problems I have. If the hardest thing I have to do is have anxiety about like where I should put a sticker, I'm actually doing quite well for myself. All things told. It's important to be grateful for what you have. Until the day comes where putting stickers on places is going to be a life or death situation, which is unlikely. But now that I fear that I've jinxed it. But unless that comes to pass, I think I should be fine. Okay, so this has a platform. Oh, hey, there's a strike painting. Let's see. Actually, that actually. Speaking of merchandising and such, stickers and merchandise. I read this article that apparently Netflix kind of fumbled. Netflix has done a lot of dumb things over the years, but I think the dumbest thing that they've done, period, is that they've really just due to their general business model, they've really fumbled the bag on merchandising. There's that really old Spaceball joke that merchandising is for the real money of the movie is made. It's not incorrect, right? Like they've got a point that merchandising does have a lot of revenue in it. The issue being that because of Netflix's business model, where they try to pump out shows as frequently as possible, and If they don't succeed, they flop, and the algorithm is cruel to them. Yeah, exactly. They make no merch for any of their shows, except I think Stranger Things, because that series for some reason printed money. I never got into Stranger Things. I'm sure it's a great show, but I don't know. Whenever a big show blows up, I feel like I'm like a mother watching their baby chicks take their first steps. Like, I feel like did Stranger Things have an ARG? I feel like it did. Yeah. Okay, does Stranger Things have an ARG? It must have. Yeah, here we go. 2019. Stranger Things fans are uncovering an IRL mystery right now. That's how they describe an ARG. And again, this is just kind of precious to me as a dude who, like, you have these ultra mainstream show people who are finding out about ARGs for the first time, and they're like, "Whoa! So you're telling me like this made up thing has like a mystery in real life?" And I'm just excitedly clapping and rubbing my hands, like, "Yes, yes! Now get into them." Which is hilarious because I'm not into ARGs myself, but it's like exciting to see other people get into it. Like they tend to have some really high quality YouTube essays after everything is done and dusted. So I'm always very happy to see people get excited about that sort of thing. Okay, yeah, no, I think I'm going to. I think I actually had a reference for the middle of the sphere is somewhere. I'm sure it's fine. Anyway, I'm gonna put the pedestal for the gun somewhere over here. There we go. Does this make sense? I think it might. But then that's No, something about this doesn't seem right. Right. Okay. Okay. I see now. Okay. No, I was on the right track in the first half. All right. Swag. There we go. We need to bring back swag as a mindset. I think. I feel like we let that word go too easily. I mean, granted, it was everywhere in the mid 2010s, but I feel like we let go of it too easily. Now everybody just says "goated with a sauce." We need some diversity in terms of saying that something is cool. We need to have more vocabulary opportunities for expressing how much we love something. Peak as well. Now we say peak. I mean, granted, we probably just lifted those straight out of African American vernacular English, but I stand by my assessment. Yeah, coated with the swag. See, now that's fresh. That's swaggy with the sauce. Swaggy with the sauce. Okay, there we go. And I think I had scaffolds and stuff over this thing. Yeah, okay. Okay then. Oh, right. Now I'm remembering the structure I had in mind for this thing. Okay, so I think I need to make the base for the, no, I think the scaffolding should go first, probably. Okay. All right, yeah, I can build that. in the drawing. I can't build scaffolding in real life. Please don't ask me to build scaffolding in real life. I don't know. I feel like if it comes to making something that can support human weight, I would get very nervous about my own capabilities. I used to see these videos of like these old Chinese construction worker guys who walked on these rickety looking bamboo built platforms, and I'm like, holy shit. I have a little bit of a fear of heights, so that's also a contributing factor. You're telling me if I don't build this good enough, people will fall to their deaths? Yeah. And the most ridiculous part of it is that it's not even like an untested technology. We've been doing this shit since earlier than Mesopotamia, probably. There's no reasonable reason that you should be nervous about it. Like, literally, it's just asking 3 or 4 dudes at a time to go monkey mode and just do whatever job it needs doing. But very stressful. Very stressful. Do not put me in that situation. That being said, I do like scaffolding as a concept. I would not like to tread upon it. I would not like to build it, but I do like it as a concept. I enjoy it from a distance. I'm more of a scaffold spectator than a scaffold player. Okay, then put the ruler back on. I think we had... Yeah, okay. Okay, until around here. All right, we can turn the ruler off for a moment. I remember last time when I was doing the backgrounds where this scaffold was closer in. I remember having some difficulty distinguishing the legs after a while. I really hope we don't have a rerun of that. Scaffolds, much like octopi, have a lot of legs, and it's a little problematic when you get them mixed up. Also very much like octopi. Okay, there we go. Scaffold eye. Yes, I think scaffolds can be a type of cephalopod. I think they've earned it. You know, I think they've earned the right to be recognized as such. That being said, you know, I joke about that, but I do feel like sometimes when I look at like footage of cranes and excavators moving and everything, I do feel like I am looking at some manner of mammal. I will be if I'm being fully serious. Sometimes I do look at machinery. I'm like, that's a creature. That is a majestic beast that we have tamed and domesticated. Forklift certification would be so much easier to acquire if we could just go full horse girl movie mode and kind of will the thing into trusting us and letting us drive it. There we go. And over here, we should make forklifts the first sentient machines. So true. Legitimately, I think you're right. for several reasons. First of all, forklifts have very limited power, relatively speaking, as machines. Definitely they can. It's dangerous if you hit somebody with a forklift as much as it is when you hit somebody with anything big enough to have a motor in it. But I feel like if a forklift goes full maximum overdrive on us, the worst it can do is probably just like back up into something valuable. I'm thinking about this from a self-defense point of view, but also from a very, carrying on with my earlier sentiment. I feel like the humble forklift is a noble enough creature that it would not attempt to harm us should we domesticate it. Forklift's max speed is 10 miles per hour. That's like a bruised ribcage at worst. Yeah, you got a point there. Unless like you bruise real easy, and then maybe it's like 2 bruised rib cages. I mean, like you were already getting 1 bruise, so you might as well get the other one, right? Get a nice even shade of red on those. Why not? God. Now I'm just imagining a situation where somebody has like, uh, how some people have like UV salons or something for fake tans. Now I'm just imagining a situation when somebody would need to go to a salon for fake bruises. God. I think that's what they used to wrap soap around towels for. No, I think the point of that is to avoid giving bruises. I think, if I recall correctly, the whole thing about wrapping soap bars with towels is that it doesn't leave bruises, but it can still be used as a bludgeon. That's why it's like a classic army trick that to haze the newbie with soap bars wrapped around towels. I feel like I should have something at the bottom here. This thing can just be like a caterpillar. Why not? This is still relatively low on the scale of complexity, I think. But perhaps you might say to yourself, wouldn't making triangle-shaped trusses inside of it also be much easier? Well, I can't draw triangles with a ruler. So that yes, this is simpler for the time being. Wait a minute. Do we have a man down? Hang on. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1. No, we're fine. But why is this one so much further away than this other? Wait. Now hold on a minute. Did I miss one? No, there's 4 here. Did I just push this one too much to the left? I must have. Alright, let's push it up a little bit then. There we go. Does that look right? No, that... Alright, my forest fears have in fact come to fruition. I am having this issue once again. Okay. I have an idea for how... Wait. I have an idea for how to fix this. No, I don't. That's a lie. Maybe around here? That looks about right. Yeah, fuck it, why not? That'll do. That's good enough. I'll just heavily shade this area so nobody will try to peek behind the curtain and make it look more ominous. Occasionally, ingenuity is born from sheer laziness. The purpose of science overall, as a pursuit, is to annihilate work. Therefore, what I'm doing is, in its purest form, science and scientific pursuit. This is what I will tell myself. There we go. Did I put this one too low? Ah, fuck it. Listen, perspective looks mean, but he's a real wimp in a fight. All right? He goes down easy. Yeah, perspective is for suckers. Mama didn't raise no fool. Listen, perspective is a psyop made by optometricians to make you think that depth perception is real. Now, excuse me while I go pick up the fourth thing that I've knocked over today. All right, see, this one's also experiencing the same issue, so it was a consistent problem. I don't know if that's good or bad. Actually, let's make it smaller too. This one's kind of big compared to the other guys. Actually, to me, everything that optometricians do is a psyop because I don't have eyes. I am by definition the one target they cannot affect. Sucks to be you, big eyeglasses, but I am immune to your propaganda. I will never be in the case of big glasses. Wait, I have glasses props, don't I? Oh wow, that's something I forgot to do. I forgot that I need to like redo my prop redeem because otherwise I might end up in a pickle where somebody remembers that that's a redeem that I have, and I don't actually have anything on hand to put on the screen. I do know that. It's gonna have to be a little bit different now because I do have. When it was in Live 2D, right? I used to be able to just add it as an item to the scene, but that's not a thing you can do in PNG Tuber Plus. I don't think. I think I will just have to put them in OBS and just flip them on as needed. This is a joke. I must. Unfortunately, my warrior's nature means I must oblige. Give me like 30 seconds. Let's see. Which one actually works with the perspective here? Actually, this might work. Hang on. Is this anything? Is this doing anything? All right, hang on. I think there is a way to transform objects in here. Blending method, blending mode, scale filtering, transform. Here we go. Is there a free transform? Edit transform. Here we go. Crop left, crop right, alignment. Maybe I just like tilt them a little bit. Like this. Yes, I think this work. I think this is working. It is actually working a little bit. Yeah, I think now I would have to reset the list of props that I have, but I could add a because I think from now on I'll probably either do like full on costumes for gaming streams. That's where I used to get most of my props from, is just from my gaming streams. That I would just make myself a little Live 2D prop. Every prop now needs a 3/4 perspective. It's getting back for calling it a chump. Yeah. Damn. Hoisted by my own petard. You hate to see it. I need to be better about future-proofing my goofs. You know, I need to start converting all the... That's something that I've been talking about with the Joker community, is that we need to start really future-proofing our gags. You know, we used to have joy busters back in the day that were battery powered, but nobody sells like small watch batteries anymore. Now we have to convert them to USB-C so we can charge them on the go. It's getting to be a real pain. I mean, I know this one dude who proposed the creation of a Rube Goldberg type device, but unfortunately that doesn't work for a lot of our acts, right? Not a lot of us rely on pure prop work. So it's not a universal solution. I do feel like with the rate things are going, a clown might really be the answer to the energy crisis by some small miracle. It would be really good if a clown was able to solve the energy crisis. That's like the good ending. There was a joke gag shop at the beach I used to vacation to frequently as a kid. It's still around, but all it sells now is slime. Just slime, huh? That's noble in and of itself, I think. You know, the market being what it is, sometimes you need to learn how to pivot a little bit with your product offering. You know, maybe they should start being a place that sells supplies for those like aesthetic stem slime things that you see on YouTube sometimes. I've always wondered how you started getting into that. Like, it just seems like a bunch of little knickknacks that you usually use to make bracelets, all kind of like dumped in there. I'm sure there's like a flick of the wrist to it, right? But otherwise, I feel like that doesn't really require a specialty store. Either that, or they just have some kind of agenda now. Hmm. Okay, over here. Okay, over here. I think this means that I should probably like make this just a tiny bit. No. Maybe make the top part a little bit bigger. I think that's probably the best way to go. Hang on. Okay, let's try this. Okay, there we go. Perfect. All right, there we go. That looks sufficiently alien. But yeah. The fact that there's fewer joke gag shops now, I think says a lot about society. That's not even a bit. I feel like it does genuinely say something. There's social commentary in there somewhere. No place for goofers and gaffers. That's right. We're like the Ronin of the modern age. It's like, remember how there's this one post that said like, dude who has never heard, like, if you offered a Happy Meal from McDonald's to a dude who's never had one before, and he's like, Happy Meal? Yes, I think I'd like that. I'd like that very much. And it's kind of like that. If you told some dude now that there was such a thing as a joke shop, a joke where they exclusively sold things for the merriment of humanity, they might actually have like that that song from Guts, that Guts' theme kind of moment. Larry from Pokemon. God. I feel like Larry from Pokemon would be kind of a role model if he wasn't just such a poorly adjusted individual. Like, like I feel like somebody would be like, I want to be just like you when I grow up. And he'd be like, that's terrifying. You shouldn't say that. All right, so here's what we're going to do. I'm going to cut this part here. And then I'm going to make this part a little bit thinner. Yeah, I remember seeing this one video of a bunch of the Hololive girls playing through Scarlet and Violet, and they were just getting to Larry's gym, and he's like, "This is the power of an adult." And then the first move he pulls out is Facade, which in Japanese is apparently called fake happiness. And almost universally, they were like, "Huh, dude." They were like, "Geez, man." The reaction I remember most was like Subaru's, and she was like, "No, come on, man. Even adults have dreams, just like children." I'm like, "You are so right." All right, here's my idea. This might actually be a lot easier than what I had to do for the planks here, because for this one I can get very easily confused by the pattern that I've made on this. God damn it! Actually, you know what would be a good thing to do? Make like a paved floor here. Very thin lines, probably. I'm gonna make all these squares into a circle. God, what have we done to deserve tiled flooring? It's so easy to render. It's so easy to do in quick batches. It's like hardwood's nicer cousin. God bless our ancestors for figuring out that the easiest pattern on the floor to make was just a bunch of squares. Well, God bless somebody's ancestors. My ancestors probably didn't use tile flooring very often. Or, invented. I don't know. Who would have invented tile flooring? Usually a safe bet whenever something is really old as hell and somebody had to invent it is probably India or China. Those two have civilizations that are old as balls. Who invented tile flooring? Yeah, it's always either India or China. Ancient Middle East. The earliest evidence of glazed brick is the discovery of glazed bricks in the Elamite temple at the Choga Sanbil, dated the 13th century BC. used to make low reliefs in ancient Mesopotamia, most famously at the Ishtar Gate of Babylon, now partly reconstructed in Berlin, with sections elsewhere. Mesopotamian craftsmen were imported for the palaces of the Persian Empire, such as Persepolis. Huh. Yeah, no, older than both of them. Mesopotamia. That's how you know something's old as balls. If the Mesopotamians had a hand in it, then you know that whatever you're dealing with is old, old money. The zodiac, the writing, storytelling. The Mesopotamians were a busy, industrious bunch. Gotta give them props for that. Just kicking back a cold one and revolutionizing civilization forever. Yeah, I think that's a reason why there was an. Wait, no, was there? I remember seeing this one discussion on like the different sources for the zodiac, and I remember that it's very possible that one of the reasons, I don't remember. Like, I think one of the reasons that one of the zodiacs was a goat was because one of the ancient Mesopotamian gods or Babylonian gods was goat, part fish or something. Although I don't quite recall. Or maybe they said that part was wrong and they couldn't find any source for it. I remember somebody saying that they couldn't find a source for something. Wasn't there like this one Homestuck bid where they like this one Homestuck dude who pretended like that Gamzee's dad beast thingy was like some ancient Greek monster, and it turned out to be a bunch of bullshit that they made up and just cited sources for. There's so many legendary episodes of misinformation in the Homestuck community. Like we thought, like Tumblr thinks they're hot shit with Goncharov, but they have nothing on like some of the OG misinformation from the Homestuck community. Kings of misinformation. Joining the war on misinformation on the side of misinformation. There we go. It's gonna really round these out. I remember one early Homestuck fandom bit was, if you wait long enough on the first page, you'll get to play the game. Ah, that's precious. And one guy kept the tab open for days. Ah, poor guy. I feel like the good thing is that most of the people in the Homestuck community are also the kind of people who would take getting misinformed in stride, you know? They'd run with the bit a little bit. I feel like Homestuck discourse fries your brain in a specific way that makes you immune to most other discourse. Although I do know that some people did try to make like a playable version of S-Burb. Not as in like the reality and, you know, sans meteors, obviously, for what I hope should be obvious reasons. I remember somebody did try to make like a playable version of Esper, but probably multiple people did at some point or another. If that old sponge Andrew Hussey wanted to keep printing money, he could have just done that. Instead of whatever the hell, you know, the Homestuck game actually ended up being. Which from what I understand, is like an adventure game. There's one on Steam right now that's actually pretty good. Real? Oh yeah, Genesis Project. I forgot about this thing. Very positive. Interesting. Naturally released April 13th of last year? You that ass? Asper but real. The actual Homestuck game right now it's like point and click. Yeah. Okay. Oh, okay. This is kind of cool actually. Recommended. 50 hours on record. Early access review. Got sent into actual orbit flying on a piece of grist 2 years ago. 10 out of 10 game. Recommended. 32.9 hours in record. Early access review. Posted 20th July. Help me! Help! Help me! 7 people found this review funny. Good to know. The Genesis project is pretty legit since it has the systems of Esper and combat and X. I think I'll definitely have to check that out at some point. It sounds genuinely very fascinating. I would love to see what they did with it. Honestly, I feel like in terms of like playable Esper, right now one of the games that probably comes closest is probably gonna have to be Project Zomboid. I feel like that has the similar vibes. At least everything that I've seen from Project Zomboid tells me that it would be very much like if Esper was a real thing. All right, what I'm gonna do is that once I make the laser thunder thing here, I'm just gonna port it back here. I'll get started on the page work for line 3 or for page 3 at some point, and then I'll just go back and paste it down here. Actually, I'm gonna copy and paste this and rasterize this one. There we go. And like I said, I should probably put at least a couple of other grunts running around. That'll be probably another good idea for copying and pasting it. This is such a pleasant looking ratio already. Friend shaped. Polite old man. Oh yeah. Speaking of things that people made, I read about this one artist who in New York who apparently made a bakery entirely out of like felt products. Let me see if I can find a picture of it real quick. I had it open somewhere around here. New York felt bagel. Yeah, here we go. Yeah, Felt's Bagels is the name of the project. Here, they have a close up of the food over here. Yeah, you can see that everything, including the deli meats and such, are made out of felt. I like that a lot. It's a very creative idea. This is where Muppet characters should hang out for breakfast. Although I don't know how to feel about all the bagels having tiny faces. I think if that happened in real life, I would feel a little bit afraid. Oh, Reuben. I mean, I'd still eat it. These look delicious. But I would feel a little bit put off. I feel like if your bagel has like a face, similar to how like in the Mario Brothers series, like the hills have eyes, literally. I feel like the ethical thing to do when you're eating sentient food is to go like for wherever their brain would be. You know, end it quickly for them. It would be fascinating as a horror movie concept, because except somebody already tried to do that and it sucked. It was called Sausage Party, and it was a really bad movie. Every time I'm reminded that that movie exists, I die a little bit on the inside. Is this the right arm? I keep wait. Every single day of my life, I forget which arm is the one that Horatio uses to hold his cane. Every single day of my life. It will never stop happening. All right, left arm. It's still left arm. I need to write that down on a sticky note somewhere and just have it taped to my forehead. Which I still wouldn't be able to read, but at least it would kind of make a point. Those nails don't look quite right. Let me try that again. But yeah, the idea of having like an entire bakery made out of felt materials is quite a fun idea. I commend the artist for it. I wonder how difficult it is to make a felt puppet. I don't imagine it's like the most difficult task in the world, depending on what your desired outcome is, right? Because like if you're making like a very realistic one, I imagine it's going to be much more difficult task than Kermit the Frog, who was just a mouth and two ping pong balls, which is not at all a diss on Kermit. My man deserves the credit for everything he's done as a real person who exists in the world, and is definitely not just a puppet. Let's see. Okay. Okay, this is the level of skill where nobody would notice if I add any details or remove any details, so I'm just gonna not do that. Okay, there we go. Yeah. I I really shouldn't bother putting too much detail into this part. Don't get me wrong. There's nothing wrong with making things with love, but the problem is that sometimes you need to recognize that you're just it's not that you're filling it with love. You're just making more work for yourself. There's a very fine line between that. And don't get me wrong. It's not like the work you do is ever wasted, right? The things that the kind of like care that you put into it creates very subtle effects. But the thing is, right now I'm not trying to go for subtle. I'm trying to go for done. So it's difficult. It's difficult to try and balance those sometimes. Yeah. Done is better than perfect is a very valuable phrase. If you learn when and where to deploy it, it will be something that brings you great peace, I think. Not my overachieving ass though. Hooah! In all seriousness, having that attitude for real, it can get you burnt out. Not the hoo-ah part, not the done is better than perfect. Done is better than perfect is how you avoid burnout. Let's just look. Maybe a little bit bigger. Okay, where is Gora supposed to be? Okay. And remind me again what Gora looks like. Looking pretty good, right? I'm very happy with this with how this first panel is coming along. That being said, I don't think we're done just yet. We still need to add a few guys milling around here and there. Just a few of them. References. Ratio. Where's Gora's reference? Oh, here she is. There we go. Okay, muy bien. Okay, with a couple of little thingies here and there. Okay, there we go. Okay, she do have a tail. All right, let me just post her a little bit further up. This should be good for leg length. I wonder if like the pants that I drew here, right? Like the ones that have like super huge thigh hems. I wonder how comfortable those are, and those actually are. I imagine they're not good for like crowded spaces, but they're supposed to be based on like aviator pants. So I imagine that. Yeah, I'm guessing crowded seating isn't really a concern on like an aviator plane. Okay, there we go. One trick that I learned from reading Dragon Ball is that you can make a very convincing grassy landscape just by having stuff like these very tiny things of grass here and there. Don't ask who's maintaining this perfectly manicured grass in the middle of this space planet. It's fine. Don't worry about it. The guys working the archaeological dig site did it. me get rid of this circle. I think we've established that. I don't think we need it anymore. Okay, this is pretty good. Now we just need to add the soldiers. Now the issue with that is that I don't know where to add them. Did I have any of them on the original sketch for the page? Oh yeah, I had a couple here and there, I think. Yeah, let me. Okay, we had 2 in front of the storage depot. We could probably have one near the kind of bigger building. Hmm. What else could we do? Also, I think I do need to make Horatio and Gora smaller, because if this is supposed to be like a small pickup truck, then they're still a little large compared to that. Just a little bit smaller. I can make the line width thinner to compensate for that. Actually, didn't I have an actual person in this map here? I may have removed him in my innocence. In retrospect, I might have removed that poor guy. That or I just have way too much crap on here and I can't see him no more. Where are you, little guy? Oh, he's all the way down there. Yeah, no, that guy's gone. Bro is never gonna see his family again. That was a bit dark. Where did that come from? Alright, we'll have 2 guys near the storage depot, just kind of milling around, I guess. This is the cool part, that now that I've kind of eaten my proverbial vegetables, I can just start putting little guys here and there, who are going to be comparatively much easier to do. Okay, there we go. This is the wrong layer, isn't it? Easy fix. I forget, how far back is this? Did I... Okay, this is without Gora and Horatio. We can remove this one and duplicate this one. Alright, now we move. Okay, we just have this dude back here. I forgot. Oh wait, right. They have these like tuxedo suits. that also kind of look like bibs if you squint your eyes a little bit. Probably not with like the actual color, but if they were in black and white, they might look a little bit like bibs. Okay, there we go. Okay, maybe this guy can be just a few hairs bigger. There we go. Should probably tone down his line thickness though to compensate. And we have one dude hanging out near here. Just kind of being a goober. We'll have a second dude right below him too. There we go. What if we worked for the same evil organization and we had to explore the scary tomb together? Dude, the relationship dynamics inside of like evil henchman bases must be insane. You just know the most crazy love triangles are happening in there. Let me turn on the ruler again real quick just so I can make the shadows for this part here. No, that doesn't look quite right. Hang on. There we go. Who would I be without vector layers in Clip Studio Paint? I think because they remove a lot of the work, they really do help me out. I gotta teach Raph about these. Oh my god, I keep forgetting to teach him. He's gonna choke me out once. He's for real gonna strangle me once he learns what he can do with these. ¿Por qué no me contaste estas antes? I can already hear him. Well, the second best time is to, you know what they say, the best time to learn about vector layers is when you were just starting out. The second best time is today. Let me use the Milli pen again for the tiles here. Oh, there's the actual guy to scale. Look at him, he's so cute and tiny. And just about the same size as the ratio. High five, brain. The one thing I do wish that Clip Studio Paint had that I think Viral Pocket does have this actually, is that I wish that they had support for like multi-tip pens. That is like my one wish list thing for Clip Studio Paint, is that they have pens with multiple tips so that I don't have to keep doing these lines individually. I'm sure you could jerry rig it somehow with the symmetry ruler, but that seems what do you call? Unstable? No. Unreliable. Well, it's not bad to have a human touch every now and again. There we go. Okay. Then next up after this. No, that's not quite right. Not what I intended to do. Okay, then right here and here. Here as well. Okay. Let's turn off the ruler real quick. Okay. All right. Then after that, we need to keep adding guys here and there. May have one kind of just walking up around here. Go there. Go in the dark. Anyone walking down the ramp. Holding something. Okay. There we go. Maybe carting something. Copper wire. Something like that. Let's flatten this guy's ass a little bit as a joke. Okay. And then... All right, boots are around here and here. We can make this guy just a little bit smaller. And make the lines a little thinner too. Wheelbarrows are normal to draw, right? I know what a wheelbarrow looks like. Definitely. I don't know. Wheelbarrows, I feel like, are one of those tools that have a very distinctive shape, enough that you don't need to worry about how to do it. Like they have such a simple purpose and idea behind them that it's not really that hard to figure out. That being said, I did have to Google what one looks like just now, just to make sure that I get the wheel on the right side. Yeah, okay, I was gonna get it on the right side. I had an educated guess as to where it went, but I know now that I was right. God, all this copper wire. Bet you could sell it for quite a bit. That's something that people used to do, right? Rip the copper wire out of phone lines for money. For a while there, I think they used to steal the catalytic converters off of cars. I remember even further back, they started stealing grease out from like McDonald's and stuff. Let it never be said that a thief's job is not entrepreneurial. Okay, there we go. Maybe we can have some dude carrying something over here as well. Maybe something really big and heavy. See what I mean? Like, I can draw humans at like the snap of a finger. Or I guess whatever these guys are. I don't think we've confirmed that they're humans, but it doesn't seem likely that they're aliens either. They could just be ridiculously humanoid people. They're supposed to be faceless goons, so I don't think it really matters what species they belong to. There we go. Then over here. Should this just be a giant log of wood, or should it actually be something? I think a giant thing of wood should be fine. This isn't a lumber mill, but I feel like, unless... Hang on, I've got an idea for just one last detail to add. Maybe one of these chests would open so that we can see what these are for. Like, I had one in the cargo container, I believe. Yeah, this thing. There we go. And then this, and Voila. We have a hinge. This just looks like he's carrying around a massive cigarette. The vape of the precursors. Yeah, forget all that lame shit like in Starfield or like in Mass Effect, where if you touch an artifact of the precursor species, you will be filled with memories of them. You gotta smoke out this fat vape. If you survive, you'll gain their secrets. Come on, you'll do it if you're not a pussy. do not allow yourself to be peer pressured into taking alien drugs. I feel like that's not something I should clarify, but for the sake of posterity, I feel like it's worth doing. Bro, do not take a hit off the alien vape. It's what gave the shorts field a radius. That's the shit that made the event horizon. That's the thing that make the Alcubierre drive. That's the thing that banged the big one. Remember how in Star Wars there was just this one random drug vendor that approached Obi-Wan Kenobi and was like, "You want some death sticks?" And the guy was like instantly like, "No." What would death sticks feel like? I wonder. Like, are they sticks that make you experience what it's like to die, or are they just? Is the implication that they're so strong that they will kill you immediately? There must be some nerd in the extended universe who actually pieced this together. Hang on. Star Wars Death Sticks. Yeah, here we go. Wikipedia. A death stick is a highly addictive illicit substance readily found in the underworld of Coruscant and other locales across the galaxy. Let's see. Blah, blah, blah. Okay, apparently they are very refined mushrooms, which is not that which is not particularly exciting, but it does make sense for what they are. And I'm glad that people finally stopped licking frogs to get high. That used to be a thing you heard about all the time. I think the community's mostly died out because there's just much more easy ways to procure narcotics now. That don't involve harassing woodland creatures. For the most part. I don't know. There might still be one that involves harassing a woodland creature. Or an amphibious creature. Alright, this first panel I think should be fine. I do think I'm going to call it a night here. Oh, goodness. Alright, thanks to everybody who came by the stream. We'll be back with more of this tomorrow. Catch you later. Bye.